Welcome, dear listener. Tonight we wander into the realm where myth and memory softly entwine. In the heart of ancient Greece, where olive trees whisper, the goddess Athena awaits her calling. She is not a goddess of conquest, but of wisdom, balance, and the quiet strength of clarity. Legends tell of an eternal crown, forged not of gold, but of light, truth, and timeless harmony. No mortal eye has seen it, yet its radiance is said to guide hearts beyond the reach of centuries. It is not a prize to wear, but a symbol of what endures when wisdom outshines fleeting glory. The oracle once whispered, "Seek the crown, not for power, but for the soul's awakening." And so, Athena listens. She rises with the dawn, her gaze steady, her heart open to wonder. The path before her is not marked by armies or battles, but by questions and revelations. It is a journey into silence, into reflection, into the very essence of what it means to know. Every step, every encounter becomes a thread in the tapestry of her eternal quest. And here begins our tale. The story of Athena and the crown that does not fade with time. Part 1. Whispers of the Oracle. The dawn spills softly across the marble steps of Delphi. Mist curls like silver threads, weaving through sacred stones. The temple rests in quiet majesty, holding secrets older than empires. Pilgrims have come for centuries, seeking guidance, seeking truth. On this day, it is Athena who stands before the sacred place. Her presence is calm, but her spirit is alive with listening. She is no stranger to oracles, yet today feels different. A whisper lingers in the air, delicate as a harp's final note. The oracle speaks, her voice rising from deep within the silence. The eternal crown, she begins, lies hidden where time has no hold. Her words tremble like leaves touched by the breath of unseen winds. It is not a treasure for kings, nor a jewel for conquerors. It is a light for the seekers, a guide for the willing heart. Athena leans forward, her gaze steady, her mind attentive. She does not crave dominion, nor the fleeting applause of mortals. Her purpose is deeper, to uncover wisdom that nourishes eternity. The oracle continues, her tone fading and blooming like twilight. You must walk where echoes dwell, where silence holds the key. Each step will test not your might, but the gentleness of knowing. The crown cannot be taken, only understood, only revealed. As the words fall into stillness, the temple grows strangely quiet. Athena feels the air shift, heavy yet tender, like rain before it falls. She closes her eyes, breathing in the scent of burning laurel. Visions dance behind her eyelids, fleeting, uncertain, yet radiant. She sees rivers glowing silver beneath starlit skies. She sees mountains unmoved, their peaks piercing through the ages. She sees a crown of light, resting not on a throne, but in air. It does not glitter with metal, it hums with gentle radiance. The vision fades, leaving only the echo of promise. Athena opens her eyes to find the oracle watching her softly. You are chosen, the oracle whispers, not to own, but to carry. To carry what endures beyond marble and bronze, beyond song. Athena bows her head, not in submission, but in respect. The quest is not commanded, it is invited, and she accepts not with words, but with silence and resolve. The oracle smiles faintly, her form shimmering in dim light. Then she retreats into the shadows, her duty complete. Athena steps away from the temple, her heart both heavy and light. The winds stir gently, brushing her robe like an unseen hand. Olive branches sway, as though nodding to her silent vow. She descends the steps slowly, each echo marking a beginning. The world below seems unchanged, yet everything feels different. The prophecy lingers in her mind, not as a burden, but as a seed. She wonders where the journey will lead, what truths will unfold. The eternal crown is not a possession, she reminds herself. It is a revelation, a mirror for those who dare to see. She walks toward the horizon, where sunlight gathers in gold. Every stone beneath her feet hums with unseen memory. Every breath she takes seems to draw her deeper into fate. The world waits, not knowing the goddess carries a new vow. Mountains rise in the distance, veiled in mist and mystery. The river glimmers faintly, its current singing in soft tones. Athena listens, truly listens, as though the land speaks to her. She hears no words, only the rhythm of life unfolding. Perhaps that rhythm is the first key, she thinks quietly. The oracle's whisper returns, like a song carried on wind. The crown reveals itself not in haste, but in patient seeking. Athena smiles, a rare softness gracing her divine composure. For she knows this journey is not a burden, but a blessing. A chance to see the hidden, to hear the unspoken, to know. And so the first step has been taken, not on stone, but in spirit. The path ahead glimmers faintly, unseen yet undeniable. Athena walks on, her heart attuned to whispers of eternity. Thus begins her quest, not for glory, but for the light that endures. Part 2. The gathering of winds. The horizon shimmers with pale light, where dawn and sky meet in quiet embrace. Athena steps upon the road, her footsteps steady, her gaze fixed toward the unseen. The oracle's words echo in her heart, like distant bells carried by invisible hands. The air shifts gently, as though the world itself leans in to listen. Clouds drift slowly, their shapes bending into symbols of hidden meaning. A breeze brushes her cheek, light as the touch of a feather. It carries with it the fragrance of wild thyme and blooming laurel. Athena pauses, her eyes closing, her spirit listening to the breath of the earth. The wind hums, soft at first, then swelling like a chorus unseen. It is not a storm, but a gathering of voices, each carrying its own story. One voice whispers of rivers, silver and unbroken, winding through memory. Another tells of mountains, patient and unshaken, guardians of ages untold. A third speaks of fields, golden and endless, where life renews without end. Athena hears them not as warnings, but as companions on her path. The winds encircle her, playful yet purposeful, guiding without force. Their dance is a map, not drawn on parchment, but etched in the air. She follows, trusting the unseen, her robe lifting with every current. The olive trees sway gently as she passes, offering their silent blessing. Above her, owls stir, watching with eyes that gleam like distant stars. The road stretches on, yet it feels less like distance, more like unfolding. The winds grow stronger, not fierce, but insistent in their embrace. They weave around her, carrying fragments of forgotten hymns. Each note lingers in her mind, painting visions across her thoughts. She sees a bridge of light, spanning valleys untouched by time. She sees petals drifting, never withering, carried across eternity. She sees faces of mortals, smiling, striving, living beneath fleeting skies. The visions fade, yet the warmth of their truth remains within her. Athena understands. The winds do not merely move, they remember. They hold the laughter of children, the prayers of wanderers, the sighs of lovers. They carry songs once sung, and words once whispered in solitude. All of it becomes part of their endless journey across the earth. Athena walks on, each step aligned with the rhythm of the air. Her staff taps softly against stone, blending into the murmurs around her. The sky above brightens, and rays of sunlight scatter across the path. The winds shift, gathering into one gentle but steady current. It points her toward the west, where mountains veil themselves in mist. Athena nods, accepting their guidance, her heart calm with trust. For she knows the winds are not chance, but chosen companions. They do not speak in words, but in presence, in patterns, in song. And she, the goddess of wisdom, understands the language of silence. The path becomes easier beneath her feet, as though stones yield willingly. Birds rise into the sky, their wings gliding on the same current. She follows the flow, feeling less alone, more a part of the whole. The winds gather behind her, not to push, but to guard. They form a veil, shielding her from shadows that she need not see. They murmur softly, like friends walking just beyond reach. Athena smiles faintly, knowing she carries their guidance within. The crown she seeks may be hidden, but the winds already reveal its truth. Wisdom is not silence alone, but listening to the unseen voices. She breathes deeply, letting the air fill her chest with quiet strength. The journey stretches far, yet each breath feels like a step completed. And so she continues, walking with the winds, listening to their eternal song. The gathering is complete, not a storm of force, but a harmony of guidance. The goddess walks on, her spirit carried by currents of endless memory. Thus the winds, invisible yet faithful, mark the second step of her quest. Part 3. The Library of Forgotten Echoes. The winds guide Athena toward a valley where silence holds a sacred weight. The path narrows into stone corridors carved by hands long forgotten. Moss clings to broken pillars, and ivy weaves across ancient marble walls. At the heart of this valley rests a library, veiled in shadow and time. Its gates are tall, wrought with bronze faded to green, yet still unbroken. Athena lays her hand upon the door, and it yields with a gentle sigh. Inside, dust swirls like spirits awakened by her quiet arrival. Shelves rise high into darkness, heavy with scrolls untouched for centuries. The air is thick with the fragrance of parchment and fading ink. It is a temple of memory, where words outlive their writers. Athena walks slowly, her footsteps soft against stone worn smooth. Her eyes trace the faded inscriptions, symbols of wisdom nearly lost. Each scroll hums faintly, as if yearning to be read once more. She selects one, its binding fragile, its letters etched in delicate hand. The words speak of patience, the art of waiting without fear. Knowledge, it says, is not found in haste, but in stillness of heart. Athena smiles gently, for the truth resonates like an echo long remembered. She sets the scroll aside with reverence, then reaches for another. This one tells of humility, the strength of bending without breaking. The wise, it whispers, bow not to weakness, but to understanding. Another scroll speaks of compassion, the bond that outlives conquest. To guide is not to command, the text declares, but to uplift. Athena pauses, letting each lesson sink into the depths of her spirit. The library is not silent. It breathes, it teaches, it remembers. She hears faint whispers drifting between the shelves like forgotten voices. They are not mournful, but tender, grateful to be heard once more. Athena moves deeper, her hands grazing the spines of countless works. Some scrolls crumble at her touch, their secrets already surrendered to time. Yet others glow faintly, preserved by devotion, waiting for the right seeker. She gathers fragments of wisdom, not as trophies, but as gifts. Every word adds another thread to the tapestry of her journey. The crown she seeks is not here, yet its essence lingers in these pages. Wisdom eternal is not carved in stone, but carried in hearts that listen. As she reads, a presence stirs, not threatening, but protective. An echo rises, the voice of a scholar who once walked these halls. You come not to take, but to remember, the voice murmurs softly. Athena bows her head, acknowledging the spirit with quiet respect. The echo continues, gentle as wind through hollow reeds. These words are not mine, nor yours. They belong to time itself. Athena responds with silence, for she knows wisdom needs no argument. The voice fades, leaving only the rustle of parchment in the air. Athena continues, reading until her arms ache from lifting scrolls. Each one is a lantern, illuminating corners of thought long dimmed. She learns that patience shapes destiny as surely as action. She learns that kindness endures where might dissolves into dust. She learns that humility builds bridges where pride builds walls. The lessons form a chorus, each voice different, yet harmonious. Athena closes her eyes, letting the teachings weave into her spirit. The library does not ask her to stay, but to carry its light forward. She gathers no scrolls, for wisdom is not meant to be hoarded. Instead, she gathers memory, the living spark of truth eternal. As she turns to leave, the shelves seem to sigh in quiet relief. The echoes are no longer forgotten. They are remembered, alive once more. The doors open as if pushed by unseen hands, welcoming her return. Athena steps back into the daylight, the valley bathed in golden glow. The winds rise to greet her, carrying fragments of parchment on their breath. She knows the library will remain, a sanctuary for seekers yet to come. And she too carries it within her, the echo of wisdom unforgotten. Thus the third step of her journey is complete, not in conquest, but in remembrance. The goddess walks onward, guided by voices that will never fade. Part 4. The River of Reflections. Athena walks until the land opens wide into a valley bathed in silver light. A river flows there, smooth and endless, its surface shining like liquid glass. No ripple stirs, no bird disturbs, as though time itself holds its breath. The air is cool, carrying a hush that feels older than the mountains. Athena approaches, her eyes fixed upon the still water before her. She sees not the river alone, but a mirror waiting for her presence. The winds that guided her quiet down, resting at the river's edge. It is as if they too bow in respect to the sacred current. Athena kneels, her reflection staring back, sharp and unwavering. She sees her face, but also 1,000 faint echoes of herself. The river shows not one image, but many, past, present, and unseen. Each reflection glimmers like a story, a truth, a possibility. She leans closer, her voice low, carried by the silence. Tell me, she whispers, what must be seen to find the crown? The water shifts, not by wind, but by thought and question. Her reflection splits, revealing two visions before her eyes. One vision shows her crowned with glory, mortals praising her name. Temples rise, offerings gather, her wisdom carved into endless stone. The other vision shows her walking quietly, unseen, among mortals. She listens to their stories, shares their burdens, offers her light. There is no crown of jewels, only the glow of truth within. Athena studies both, her heart steady, her mind unshaken. The river whispers without words, urging her to choose. Glory is a crown of weight. Wisdom is a crown of light. Athena closes her eyes, and the answer flows clear as dawn. I seek not glory, she says, but truth that endures. Her reflection shifts, the jeweled crown fading into shadow. The quiet crown of light expands, radiant yet gentle. It does not sit upon her brow, but shines within her chest. The river responds, rippling with silver fire, alive with approval. The visions fade, leaving only her true reflection upon the water. She sees herself not as goddess, not as conqueror, but as seeker. Athena rises, her robe brushing the grass, her gaze lifted skyward. The winds stir once more, carrying a note of soft triumph. The river flows freely again, its mirror calm yet knowing. It has tested her not with power, but with choice, and her choice has unlocked the path beyond its shore. Athena steps into the shallow current, the water cool around her feet. It parts for her, opening a narrow path across the flow. Each step glimmers with light, as though the river honors her vow. She walks carefully, the current singing beneath her in soft tones. The river carries away doubt, leaving clarity in its place. At the far bank, she turns once, offering a silent bow. The river hums, eternal, its gift already woven into her spirit. The winds gather at her side, wrapping her in their presence. Athena knows the river's lesson will never leave her. Wisdom is not chosen once, but chosen again and again. Every reflection asks the same question, glory or truth. And each answer shapes the path, the crown, the heart. Athena walks onward, her steps firm with quiet certainty. The valley fades behind her, yet the river flows within. Thus, the fourth step of her journey is complete, not with power, but with clarity. The goddess moves forward, her spirit shining with reflections eternal. Part 5. The song of the starlit owl's night descends gently, wrapping the earth in a cloak of deep indigo. The winds quiet to a whisper, as though yielding to the hush of stars. Athena finds herself walking beneath towering trees, their branches heavy with night. The forest hums with stillness, broken only by the rustle of unseen wings. Above, the sky unfolds into endless velvet, scattered with silver constellations. Athena pauses, sensing the presence of watchers hidden in the canopy. Their eyes gleam like lanterns, round and golden, shining through the dark. Owls gather silently, perched on branches woven like a living crown. They do not call at once, but in harmony, their voices soft and deep. It is not a cry of hunger, but a song older than empires. The forest itself seems to lean closer, listening to their chorus. The owls sing of balance, of silence paired with speech, of vision and shadow. One owl speaks in tones low, as thunder distant on the horizon. Wisdom is not in every word, but in the word that arrives with care. Another owl, soft as drifting snow, adds, "To listen is to see the unseen." A third calls gently, "Observe before you act, and your steps will not falter." Athena listens, her heart open, her mind steady as a still flame. Their song is not instruction, but invitation, weaving through her thoughts. The trees echo the melody, their leaves trembling as if alive with sound. Athena feels the truth of their message settle deep into her spirit. She remembers the river's reflection and the library's whispers of patience. Now the owls teach her the rhythm of silence and the weight of words. She lifts her gaze and meets their golden eyes without fear. In their reflections, she sees not judgment, but recognition. The owls see her not as goddess alone, but as seeker of light. Their wings stir, sending silver feathers drifting down like falling stars. One feather lands softly in her hand, glowing faintly with starlight. Athena holds it close, knowing it is not token, but teaching. The feather is light, yet it carries the weight of their wisdom. She hears their chorus again, rising into the night sky like prayer. To speak without silence is to scatter truth upon the wind. To see without patience is to mistake shadow for light. To guide without listening is to lead into emptiness. Athena bows her head, her voice soft but steady. I will carry your song, not in echo, but in action. The owls blink slowly, their approval shining in their golden gaze. Then, one by one, they spread their wings and lift into the night. Their flight is soundless, a river of stars flowing through the trees. Athena watches until their lights vanish into the vast sky above. The forest grows quiet once more, but it is not empty. The song lingers, carried in the hush, in the leaves, in her breath. She places the feather within her robe, close to her heart. It warms her gently, as though alive, pulsing with ancient memory. The winds return, subtle and light, brushing her shoulders like companions. They seem to echo the owl's song, carrying it beyond the forest. Athena steps forward, her path lit by the starlight above. Each star seems brighter now, each shadow less daunting, less unknown. She understands. The eternal crown is not won by speech or silence alone. It is shaped by balance, by knowing when to hold, when to release. The forest opens before her, guiding her to the edge of night. The dawn waits somewhere ahead, yet she carries the night within. Its wisdom sings softly in her heart, unbroken, eternal. Thus, the fifth step of her journey is complete, woven with feathers of starlight. Athena walks on, her spirit guided by the song of the starlit owls. Part 6. The Mountain of Silent Trials. The path leads Athena to rising slopes, jagged and vast against the horizon. The mountain looms, its peak lost in clouds heavy with shadow. The winds circle tighter here, not playful but stern and steady. Athena breathes deeply, feeling the weight of the climb ahead. This is not a place of whispers or songs, it is a place of silence. The stones beneath her feet are sharp, cutting like questions unspoken. The air thins with each step, demanding strength not only of body, but of will. She climbs slowly, her robe brushing against thorns that cling to the rock. No voice greets her, no guiding spirit appears, only the mountain itself. It seems alive, watching, waiting, demanding proof of her resolve. Her heart beats steady, though the silence presses like a burden. She remembers the owl's lesson, balance between silence and speech. Here, silence reigns supreme, and she must carry it with honor. The path narrows, crumbling edges threatening to fall away into abyss. Athena steadies herself, her hands grazing the cold, unyielding stone. Every step becomes trial, every breath a vow not to surrender. The winds try to push her back, but she leans forward with resolve. At times, she slips, knees scraping against the rock, pain burning. Yet she rises again, for strength is not in perfection, but in persistence. Midway, the climb grows steeper, the silence heavier, almost crushing. Athena feels her thoughts echoing loudly in the emptiness around her. Doubts creep in, voices of shadow whispering, "Turn back, goddess." But she does not answer, for silence is her shield and her guide. She grips the stone tighter, pressing upward toward unseen heights. Hours pass, or perhaps lifetimes. Time dissolves in the climb. Her hands bleed, her muscles ache, yet her spirit sharpens like fire. The mountain is not enemy but mirror, reflecting her endurance. At last, she reaches a ledge where the world opens wide below. The valley stretches in silver and shadow, rivers winding like threads. Above her, the summit remains hidden, wrapped in storm and mist. She rests briefly, her breath steadying, her gaze fixed upward. The silence here is not empty. It is sacred, vast, eternal. She feels it enter her bones, filling her with quiet strength. The climb resumes, harsher still, the path fading into jagged stone. Lightning flickers within the clouds, thunder rolling like distant drums. Yet no rain falls. This storm is not of water, but of spirit. Athena steps into the storm, her body trembling, but her will unbroken. The wind howls louder, as though the mountain itself tests her soul. The silence shatters into roaring force, yet within, she finds stillness. She recalls the library, the river, the owls, all voices of wisdom past. Their echoes guide her, but here she must walk alone, unaided. The crown she seeks is not given, but forged through struggle. At last, the clouds break, revealing the summit bathed in pale fire. Athena pulls herself upward, hands raw, breath heavy as stone. She stands upon the peak, the world stretched endless beneath her. The silence returns, deeper than before, wrapping her in reverence. Here there is no chorus, no voice, no guiding hand. Only the truth that strength is born in stillness and solitude. Athena kneels, her forehead touching the cold, eternal stone. She offers no prayer, no demand, only gratitude for the trial. The mountain hums, low and vast, acknowledging her endurance. The winds calm, circling gently, no longer as challengers, but as companions. Athena rises, her spirit carved sharper than the stone itself. She knows the eternal crown cannot be found without passing through silence. Her path now carries the weight of mountains, steady, unyielding, eternal. Thus the sixth step of her journey is complete, forged in silence and stone. Athena walks onward, her spirit tempered by the mountain of silent trial. Part 7. The Garden of Timeless Blossoms. Athena descends from the mountain, her steps lighter though her body bears the weight of trial. The path winds into a valley lush with colors no mortal eye has fully named. Here blooms a garden that stretches farther than sight, endless in its quiet splendor. Flowers of every hue sway, though no wind stirs among them. Their fragrance carries a sweetness that feels like memory and dream combined. Athena pauses at the threshold, sensing that this place is not merely beauty. The garden breathes, its silence alive with stories whispered through petals. Each blossom is not just a flower, but a vessel of time itself. The roses shimmer with dawns long past. The lilies glow with futures unseen. Athena walks slowly, her hands brushing the blossoms with reverence. When her fingers graze a violet, visions flood her mind in sudden clarity. She sees a child offering kindness to a stranger and the joy it brings. Another flower shows a moment of grief softened by compassion shared. The blossoms hold not power, but memory. Moments of human truth eternal. Athena kneels before a golden bloom, its petals radiant with soft light. Within it, she sees the face of a woman, worn yet unbroken. The woman tends her family with patience, her love quiet but enduring. Athena whispers, "Even the smallest acts are crowns in their own way." The blossom brightens briefly, acknowledging the truth in her words. As Athena moves deeper, the flowers begin to sing in hushed tones. It is not music, but a rhythm of life, unfolding, endless and tender. Each note tells of growth, decay, and renewal, the eternal cycle of being. Athena listens, her heart swelling with a peace she has seldom known. She realizes the eternal crown is not forged only of wisdom or strength. It is also shaped by love, by memory, by bonds that outlast time. The blossoms bend gently as if bowing to her understanding. She kneels among them, allowing the chorus of petals to envelop her spirit. The fragrance deepens, not heavy, but sweet with remembrance. Athena feels her own memories rising, moments of guiding, of protecting, of teaching. The garden receives them, weaving them into its eternal bloom. For this place is not only a keeper of human moments, but divine ones too. Athena rises, her eyes filled with both wonder and gentle sorrow. For beauty here is eternal, yet fleeting for those who live it. She whispers to the blossoms, I will carry you, not as memory, but as living truth. The petals shimmer, and a single bloom detaches, floating into her palm. It glows with shifting colors, sometimes gold, sometimes silver, sometimes deep blue. Athena holds it close, knowing it is not a prize, but a reminder. A reminder that the eternal crown must hold space for love as much as wisdom. The winds return, sweeping softly through the valley for the first time. They carry the blossom's fragrance beyond the garden, spreading its gift outward. Athena steps back onto the path, the bloom resting against her heart. The garden behind her hums, not diminished, but brighter for her passing. She knows she is not taken from it. She has become part of it. Thus, the seventh step of her journey is complete, not in trial, but in tenderness. Athena walks onward, her spirit fragrant with the blossoms of timeless memory. Part 8. The Bridge of Whispering Winds. Athena walks beyond the garden, the bloom still warm against her heart. The path narrows into stone, suspended high above endless mist. Before her stretches a bridge, woven not of stone but of wind. Its form shimmers, translucent, as though born of breath and dream. The abyss below is silent, bottomless, a void untouched by time. Athena steps closer, her robe fluttering in the restless current. The winds that once guided her now circle the bridge in unison. They whisper softly, carrying voices of ages long past. Each current holds words spoken, secrets kept, prayers unanswered. The bridge is alive, woven from the voices of mortals and gods alike. Athena places her foot upon it, and the winds rise in response. The bridge trembles, but does not break, holding firm beneath her. Each step she takes, whispers grow louder, forming a chorus around her. She hears echoes of rulers declaring power, poets singing of love. She hears cries of loss, laughter of children, vows whispered in shadows. Every sound becomes thread in the fabric that holds the bridge strong. Athena walks with steady pace, listening as each whisper passes through her. Some beg her to linger, to listen longer, to hold their memory. Others urge her onward, reminding her of the crown she seeks. She listens to all, but carries none as burden. For wisdom is not in clinging, but in honoring and releasing. The winds grow stronger as she nears the heart of the bridge. The whispers shift from mortals to gods, voices she recognizes. She hears Zeus thunder commands, Poseidon roar with pride, Hera counsel with care. She hears her own voice, once stern, once unyielding, now gentler. It startles her, for the bridge reflects not only others, but herself. Her past words, spoken in moments of pride, drift around her. She recalls when she spoke too sharply, when wisdom was lost in judgment. The whispers do not condemn, but remind her of her growth. Athena slows, placing her hand against the trembling air. I have spoken in haste, she admits, yet I choose to speak with care. The winds soften, their whispers now wrapping her like embrace. They accept her truth, weaving it into the bridge itself. The path steadies, stronger, clearer beneath her feet. She walks on, her heart lighter, her spirit clearer. The bridge stretches endless, yet each step brings her closer to the far side. At the final span, the winds rise high, surrounding her fully. They swirl in a storm of voices, deafening, overwhelming. Athena closes her eyes, remembering the silence of the mountain. Within the storm, she finds the stillness she carried from stone. Her calm steadies the winds, her silence taming the storm. The whispers quiet, not vanishing, but harmonizing into one voice. It speaks not in command, but in reverence. Wisdom is not only in words, but in the silence that holds them. Athena bows her head, acknowledging the bridge and its truth. The winds part, creating a clear path to the far side. She steps off, the bridge dissolving behind her into the mist. Only silence remains, the whispers carried into eternity. Athena stands firm, the bloom and feathers still close to her heart. The winds circle gently once more, companions, not trials. They have shown her that words carry weight, yet silence carries depth. She turns toward the horizon, the next path opening before her. Thus the 8th step of her journey is complete, carried by whispers into stillness. Athena walks onward, her spirit steady as the bridge of whispering winds. Part 9. The Hall of Echoing Shadows. Athena steps from the bridge, the air heavier, the light dimmer. Before her rises a vast hall, its pillars carved from obsidian stone. The entrance yawns wide, swallowing the last trace of sunlight. Inside, shadows stir, not of absence, but of presence unseen. Athena walks forward, her staff echoing softly against the polished floor. The hall responds with murmurs, voices spilling from the walls themselves. They are echoes, fragments of choices made and paths abandoned. Athena listens, her heart steady though the sound is unnerving. A voice calls her name, familiar yet warped by distance. She sees her reflection ripple along the black stone surface. It shifts, showing not her now, but the many selves she might have been. One Athena stands crowned in iron, stern, unbending, feared by all. Another kneels, softer, forgotten, drowned in endless compassion. Another walks alone, distant, severed from both gods and mortals. Each reflection lingers, asking silently, "Which are you?" Athena raises her head, unwilling to turn from their gaze. "I am all, yet I am none," she whispers. Her words carry, echoing back 1,000-fold. The hall grows louder, reflections multiplying across the floor. They argue, clamor, insisting that one truth must prevail. Some promise power, others peace, some only endless solitude. Athena closes her eyes, feeling the storm of shadows tighten. Her chest aches with the pull of countless paths unrealized. The hall tests not her strength, but her identity itself. She steadies her breath, recalling the mountain's silence, the garden's blossoms. Wisdom, strength, and love. They are threads, not chains. Athena opens her eyes, her gaze calm and unbroken. To be goddess is not to choose oneself and destroy the others, she declares. It is to walk carrying every possibility and still remain true. The shadows still, assert to the reflections bow as if yielding. The hall trembles, the echoes softening into reverent silence. From the darkness, a figure emerges, shaped like Athena herself. It is her shadow, tall, fierce, a mirror of doubt and fear. It steps forward, staff in hand, eyes burning with challenge. Athena stands firm, raising no weapon but her steady gaze. The shadow circles, speaking in her voice, sharper, crueler. You are weak for doubting, soft for caring, foolish for balance. Athena listens, then answers. Strength without compassion is hollow. The shadow strikes, its staff clashing against hers in thunderous sound. The hall shakes, echoes scattering like broken glass. They battle, not for dominance, but for recognition. Athena does not fight to destroy her shadow, but to embrace it. Each clash sends sparks of light across the obsidian pillars. At last, she disarms it, pressing her hand against its chest. I do not deny you, she whispers. You are part of me. The shadow shudders, dissolving into her, warmth spreading through her spirit. The hall brightens, the obsidian glowing with lines of silver. The echoes no longer cry out, they hum in harmony. Athena breathes deeply, her form steadier, fuller, whole. The trial has ended not in conquest, but in acceptance. She walks onward, her reflection now single and strong. The hall bows behind her, shadows folding back into stone. Thus the ninth step of her journey is complete, forged in echoes and unity. Athena steps into the light ahead, her spirit carrying every shadow as truth. Part 10. The crown of eternal dawn. Athena emerges from the hall, her steps steady, her spirit whole. Before her rises the final path, bathed in a glow of shifting light. The horizon burns not with day nor night, but with eternal dawn. It is the threshold of the crown, where all journeys converge. The air is still, yet alive, as though the world holds its breath. Athena walks forward, her heart heavy yet bright with resolve. Every trial has etched itself into her, not as scars, but as truth. The library gave her wisdom, the river taught her flow. The owls brought balance, the mountain gave silence. The moat garden offered love, the bridge whispered words. The hall revealed shadows, and she embraced them whole. Now she carries all, each trial a stone in the crown unseen. At the summit of the path lies a pedestal of pure light. Upon it rests no crown of gold, no jewel, no crafted shape, only radiance, shifting, endless, like dawn itself reborn. Athena approaches, her breath slow, her hand trembling. The light speaks, not in sound, but in presence vast and timeless. You have sought the eternal crown, it whispers into her being. Tell me what it is you believe it to be. Athena closes her eyes, memories rushing like a tide. She recalls every step, every whisper, every silence, every shadow. She sees mortals in their fleeting lives, each moment luminous. She sees gods in their endless reach, each power fragile. And she answers, her voice calm, unwavering. The eternal crown is not a prize, nor power, nor throne. It is the weaving of wisdom, strength, love, words, silence, and shadow. It is not worn upon the head, but carried within the heart. The light brightens, the dawn swelling into brilliance. Her words ripple outward, carried into eternity. The pedestal trembles, the radiance folding into form. From it rises a crown, yet not of metal or stone. It shimmers with threads of silver, gold, and endless light. Each trial gleams within it, bound together as one. Athena kneels, not in submission, but in reverence. The crown lifts, settling not upon her brow, but within her spirit. A warmth spreads through her, vast as the horizon, endless as dawn. She rises, no longer seeking, but embodying. The winds bow, the earth steadies, the sky opens. The gods above turn their gaze. Mortals below feel her presence. Yet Athena does not claim dominion. She carries stewardship. The eternal crown is not hers alone. It belongs to all. She looks outward, the horizon blooming with first light. The journey has ended, yet it is only beginning. For every crown is forged anew in every act of truth. She steps from the pedestal, her spirit radiant, her path eternal. The dawn follows her, endless, unbroken, alive. Thus the 10th step of her journey is complete, crowned in light unseen. Athena walks onward, her spirit forever bearing the crown of eternal dawn. The ending. The eternal path of the dawn lingers around Athena as she leaves the pedestal of light. Her steps are slow, not from weariness, but from the weight of completion. The air hums softly as if the world itself knows her journey has ended. Yet endings are not final. They are beginnings folded in different cloth. Athena gazes back, seeing the path she has walked across realms and trials. Each step burns in her memory, glowing like constellations in her spirit. The library of wisdom, the river of flow, the owls of balance, the mountain of silence, the garden of blossoms, the bridge of whispers, the hall of shadows, and finally, the crown of eternal dawn. They are not places she leaves behind, but truths she carries forever. Athena breathes deeply, and the dawn breathes with her. She does not feel triumph, but a serenity that cannot be shaken. The eternal crown rests unseen, alive within her, light woven into her soul. She understands at last. The crown was never a destination. It is a way of being, a path without end. Athena walks onward, but her steps are no longer alone. She feels the rivers flow within her stride, steady and clear. She feels the mountain's silence in her breath, calm and unyielding. She feels the garden's love in her heart, tender and bright. She feels the hall's shadows balanced within her strength. The whispers of wind echo in her voice, carrying both word and silence. Athena smiles, faintly, as the world unfolds before her. The gods watch, silent, recognizing her transformation. The mortals feel her presence, not as thunder, but as light. She no longer descends to rule, nor rises to conquer. She walks among them, unseen, yet deeply felt. Her guidance flows like the river, quiet but unbreakable. Her wisdom blooms like blossoms in hearts that dare to love. Her silence strengthens those who seek peace within chaos. Her shadow teaches acceptance, that one can be whole with flaws. The eternal crown speaks through her in every gentle act. It is not glory, nor fear, nor command. It is the truth of living fully, with balance and reverence. Athena stops at a hill where the horizon splits sky and earth. The dawn holds steady, a light without dusk, an eternal threshold. She raises her gaze, her eyes reflecting both fire and calm. No temple is built for this crown, no altar can contain it. It belongs to every hand that holds kindness, every voice that speaks truth. Athena knows her journey has been hers alone, but its gift is for all. The wind gathers softly, wrapping around her like an embrace. The earth steadies beneath her, strong and patient. The sky opens wide, endless, welcoming. Athena lifts her hand, releasing the last trace of the bloom she carried. It floats into the air, glowing, then dissolves into dawn. Its fragrance lingers, carried across fields, rivers, and cities. Mortals breathe it without knowing, and find courage in their hearts. The eternal crown lives now wherever truth, love, and wisdom dwell. Athena turns from the horizon, her path eternal, her spirit light. She does not seek to finish, for there is no final step. There is only walking, guiding, and becoming. Her story settles into silence, yet the silence is not empty. It hums with every echo, every whisper, every act that shaped her. Thus the journey ends, yet continues, woven into time, into dawn, into all. Athena walks onward, and the eternal crown walks with her,